this now, and I don't know, it's so difficult. Then I told her what Black Christmas was. People in the apartheid era used to be united. So, because of the boycotts that were happening, people were not buying from town. What did you call that? Sanctions and things. So a lot of people identified with the fact that people could not afford the commercial style, the commercialization of Christmas and things. And a lot of children were deprived. Black Christmas was also to say to our parents, they don't have to conform to a norm that they cannot afford, right? At the very same time, it was also to say, an injury to one is an injury to all. If you cannot afford, so can all of us not afford. Therefore, we are not going to go out and brag to you that we can afford things for our children when your children have just lost their fathers. It means no child in Kredok is going to be all rosy and shiny on Christmas Day. And I said, that's what Black Christmas meant. The reason why I'm just mentioning that is about this responsibility that I have taken up. And surely the strength of also having that and doing that in a way as well. And when I'm looking at it now, it's like it's a Dorothy story, but also it's also the Imam story, because that young woman was saying the other day that her mother said to them that you must go to, you guys could have gone to the TRCs and things. Hy goed is vir geleerde mense, is nie vir mense soos ons nie, And my mother went to the TRC and experienced that. As much as I've spoken to her every day, I didn't have a TV at hostel. I had to hear from other people that we saw your mom wearing a red jersey on TV. But I knew what it did to her because we spoke about it almost every day. Mom and I had a relationship of calling each other. So in those days, we used to use the telephone hockeys. So at whatever residence where I stayed, Mama used to know the number for the residence, and then she would call me at particular times. So all the housemates knew that if the call comes in at 7, it's my mom. If it's 7:10, it's somebody else's mom. So we would just know it's like 7 o'clock, Dorothy, 7:10, Juliet, So Mama would call and talk about her experiences at the TRC. And I never knew what it was like until I have actually seen some of the footage.
I'm glad you're bringing up the TRC because I want to talk to you about there have been 2 inquests into Ford's death, and then there was the TRC. And everyone always talks about that cry of yours at the TRC. What was that, a cry of some sort of relief that this process was happening? This was before you would have known that nothing would actually come out of that for your family.
Yeah, I should think that cry was like a sort of a relief, because before that, we knew most our husbands were murdered by the police. And when I will be busy there at home, maybe washing dishes or doing something, I'll be wondering, I wonder if I can go to the local magistrate and tell him, how do I feel and who do I think have killed my husband? Is he going to be able to listen to me? And I will have this silent prayer that says, oh, I so much wish one day I will be able to go and talk to somebody and tell the person, how do I feel and who do I think have killed my husband? And eventually it happened. And we went to the TRC. And while I was sitting there telling my story, so many things came up. It came up that there's these people sitting there listening to me, understanding my feeling and, and my thoughts and everything, and listening to me with a passion, Abu Bishop Tutu and Alex Brain and them. And it was also sort of like having this opportunity to be able to cry out.
Yeah.
So I just allowed